What is going on, YouTube? It is Flashback here. Today we're going to be doing a video on a mod that's been out for quite some time, but I'm just now getting into. I have a large list here. Destruction Derby. It adds a bunch of tracks and really just makes the game, in my opinion, a little more fulfilled. So we'll just go through some of the tracks here. So you get to Tarmac 3, and then after that is where it gets to Black Sail Valley. So, for those of you who don't remember Destruction Derby, it was an awesome 2 games back in the PS1 era. I think the second one may have come out on PS2 for a short time. Could be wrong. I don't really know. I only had 2 PS1s growing up. One for me, one for my sister. It was the only thing my sister and I ever really got that was more than just a little bit of money. But to be fair, one was more of a family, and then the other a family gift, and the other one was more for the kids area. I'll call it the family room downstairs. They were a lot of fun, and then later on in life, I bought myself a GameCube when I was 11. Yeah, 10 or 11. I bought myself a GameCube. That's neither here nor there. So these tracks are all from the original Destruction Derby 1 and 2. You have Black Sail Valley, Cactus Creek, Caprio County Raceway, which I think Cactus Creek is actually from the first one. Could be wrong. I've checked out a couple of these, and they do feel very, very, very similar to the way they were back in the day. Chalk Canyon, City Heat, Crossroad, Death Bowl. These are the fun Demolition Derby ones. Liberty City, Ocean Drive, Pine Hills Raceway, Red Pike Arena, Ruined Monastery, which is something a lot of fun. SCA Motorplex, Ultimate Destruction Speedway for SCA, just regular Speedway, I guess. The Bowl, the Coliseum, the Pit again. So many different stadiums for things. Demolition derbies. There we go. So we are going to check out the race courses here. We're going to start with the first one. We're going to do 5 laps. Whatever. I'll keep these where they're at, I suppose. We're going to start with Black Sails Valley, sorry. Going to do 5 laps, 9 opponents, whatever. The goal isn't to win. The goal is just to check out the tracks. And this is probably the number 1 giveaway here. This is actually, I believe, this right here was the game cover for Destruction Derby 2. No, Destruction Derby, this is 1. 2 had a car literally right in front of an explosion coming at the camera. So we'll wait to get in this. There we go. And we're under the map. So looking around, you do see probably a much more realistic track than we're used to seeing in Wreckfest. They're done very well from what I can tell. Also, I do have Driftfest on, which appears to be screwing me over a little bit. I apparently have forgotten how to use Driftfest with this much horsepower. Come on, people. Stop getting in the way. Come on. Grab it. There we go. Maybe I should have been running full traction or cut down my horsepower or something. Because while I was checking out these tracks, I was on pretty much the highest horsepower I can get out of this car. And traction full on, or traction and stability control and everything on full on. So that it'd be more of like a race style. Excuse me. Whee! Also, these tracks were this game was very notorious for jumps and such. There we go, bring it through. And just like that, we're cutting across the finish line, the start-finish line, to start lap 2. Oh god, I knew that was going to hurt. I knew that was going to hurt as well. Contrary to popular belief, I knew that was going to hurt. Come on. Almost should have shifted into 5th there to keep it sideways on my front end. Oh my. It'll buff out. Now let's get this off the wall here. So some of these assets aren't, or textures I should say, aren't exactly the highest quality. But to be fair, it is a almost direct copy of the old Destruction Derby games on PS1, so I suppose that kind of adds to the nostalgic feelings. I do have Moon Gravity turned off, I feel like, for obvious reasons after going over some of these ramps. Not exactly the best idea to have Moon Gravity on when you're taking a ramp. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but it never works out very well at all. So I am regretting having traction turned down. I'll have to turn it back up to really showcase these tracks. Wow, that didn't work at all. I didn't realize I was even in 6th gear coming around that corner. I thought it was in a much lower gear. Oh well, it is what it is, I suppose. Somehow I'm in 5th gear. I probably shouldn't have shifted up quite yet, but whatever, it'll work. Shift up into 6, even though all that does is kind of screw me over. Oh god, no, that's a wall. I just drove straight into that. Pretty sure I'd be dead. Could be an idiot. I mean, I suppose a car like this could... The car could take that damage, but the person inside, nah. This car would be too stiff of a body, of a chassis, to really protect anything on the inside. If that makes any sense. Basically, there's no real give in a car like this. It's mostly all steel. Whereas that's the great thing about aluminum chassis is that they do have that extra little give to really help out. Oh, should not have upshifted there. It kind of screwed me over, and then I go and do that. Because that's how I roll. Come on, just get it straight. I do feel like Wreckfest, the mod, really adds some unique physics to the game. Like, it really shows off the difference between having traction on and off. If you have it full on, it's almost hard to drift. It's very easy to get sideways. It almost feels more realistic of a game that way when you have traction all the way on and stability all the way on, which I think might be my issue here. I think I turned stability down to half. No, I think stability's still on full. Come on. Now, if only I could actually, you know, learn how to drive. So, first place already finished, which means I've been lapped. I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan at all. So I have one more lap left yet. There we go. That was a nice turn. Probably one of the nicer ways of taking that turn. I feel like 5 laps may have been a little much for this track, but I'm going 5 laps on all of them, and this is one of the larger tracks. Not the largest by any means, but it is one of the larger ones. I feel like this track has a lot of multiplayer potential, which actually gets me thinking maybe this Saturday during the multiplayer 24 Hours of Lamash, maybe I'll run Destruction Derby with Wreckfest. And actually have racing, but with the Wreckfest mod for adjusted physics. There we go. So that's going to end it for this race. We'll move on to the second one here real quick. I mean, I'm not going to pause anything. I'm just going to talk to the cutscenes and such. Perfect. So 4th place. You don't get a whole lot of money for these naturally because it is just a banger race, but maybe I'll do elimination races instead. No, that just sounds like a terrible idea. So we'll turn traction back up to full. Cactus Creek. I'll actually turn this down to 3 laps just to say because I feel like it may be getting a little bit long here. This is probably going to end up as a longer session here, a longer recording, simply because there is so much in this mod. I mean, I haven't even mentioned it. The player names, or the computer names, are actually names from the old Destruction Derby games. Oh, I remember this one. This one's a interesting one. This one is from the first one, I believe. Alright, so before we do get into this, if you would like to see more of this particular pack and maybe just some random things, Remember to hit that like button and comment if you are looking forward to the multiplayer event this Saturday on June 25th, 2016. And if you're going to be there, let me know. So without any further ado, let's get into this, shall we? And let's go. Crude oil. An engine's best buddy. I mean, you're not wrong per se, but engines... Okay, I don't know where the hell I'm going. Straight, okay. God, this really reminds me of the 90s. Everything is very basic and flat, but they did their best to make it seem rounded. Come on, Crunch Bunch. You're from the first one. I do not recognize you from the second Destruction Derby. What's funny about it is that this track almost feels like it's made for drifting. It feels like a true drift playground. Because you got high-speed sections and long corners and such. And look at that, it's just perfect. It's the perfect width and everything. Excuse me, sir. I kind of want to do this track just... That's it. This Saturday, I'm going to run this track for drifting specifically. Excuse me, the goddess? Oh, you're dead. I saw sparks. I didn't see an explosion, but I definitely saw sparks. I'm not going to be running additional parts on the server, simply because I feel like that's going to need a specific community for it to really properly use it on a server, so... And look at that, that's just so perfect. This track feels like a drift track to the core. Especially when you can do that and just rip it. That is just beautiful right there. It's a fun track, that much is for sure. Which is funny because Destruction Derby and everything was out fairly long before drifting was really even a thing. Okay, I completely screwed up that corner. And rip it. Perfect. Barney Army. Is that a Half-Life reference? I feel like that's a Half-Life reference. Totally a Half-Life reference. Barney Army. I'd do it. The Taxman. I remember the Taxman. He was a real asshole if I remember right. Alright, so that's gonna... Looks like this is gonna be the final lap here. Probably the final turn right here of this track. And I fucked it up. I went and fucked it all up. Oh, come on! I just wanted to get past. Mostly because I wanted to properly drift this. Oh well. It works, I suppose. Where is the finish line on this track? There it is. Okay. So that was Cactus Creek. That's going to be a lot of fun. This map pack, or this pack in general, this mod, has so much potential. And it's going to be so much fun in multiplayer. I can't wait. So next up we have Caprio County Raceway. As we wait for it to load and enjoy the sights and sounds of a loading screen. God, I miss these tracks. They were very well designed tracks. They weren't too big, they weren't too small, but at the same time they were just perfect for the kind of competitiveness, the kind of competition that you faced in Destruction Derby. Oh, I remember this track. Perfect. So this is a much larger track, almost more realistic of a track than most of the others. Which CCR, CCA, Motoplex, or whatever it is also a fairly realistic track. It's not based on a real track, I don't believe. I could be wrong. I wasn't really up to date on the tracks back in the day. Like, this isn't a huge track, but it's very much so a high-speed track. Come on. Regain control. Let's go. That's one thing I feel like this car needs is a little more control. Here's start-finish line right there. Oh, God. This track definitely doesn't have potential for drifting, but definitely more for racing than anything. Oh, hello, Rivet. Hello, Psycho. How realistic of names are those? Or appropriate, I should say. Not necessarily realistic, but definitely... Funny thing is, in Destruction Derby, the AIs were just like that. Some of them were there to race and win, and others were there just to screw with you. And the names really explain that. Like, Psycho was always a killer. Bulldozer, I should say. He's a bulldozer is what I used to call them. Because they didn't care what they hit, they just went full speed into it. Then you had Learner Driver, who isn't really aggressive, but kind of went all over the place, all over the track randomly. You didn't have to be near him by any means, but definitely was not an advanced AI. Although, ironically, I'd say he was probably the most advanced of them. Because it takes a little more coding to have something randomly patrol the entire width of the track than it does just to follow a single straight path as best as possible. So there we go, that was that track. Again, that raceway is a very long, large, high-speed track. A little more racing focused, so now we'll move on to the next race here. Which I believe the next one, let's just get another repair in. Keep everything up to date here. Next one is Chalk Canyon, another fun one from, I don't know if it was on the first one, but it was definitely on Destruction Derby 2 and was a very fun track. If I remember right, it's been years since I played these tracks, so we'll see how much fun it really is. Again, I am using the Steam controller here, just because I find it to be really fun and really easy. I'm dizzy now. Yeah, this one. The nice thing is all these tracks are technically, most of these tracks are technically asphalt. So they work out really well for the Wreckfest mod. Oh yeah, I remember this one now. Mostly from the wall. Oh yeah, yeah, I remember this. Oh god. I got stuck in that one spot so many times. So this track definitely feels like it's made more for the low power tier. Until you get to right here. Woo! Oh god. Went and fuckered that one up too. Whee! Oh god. Oh yeah, I remember that now. That one was always that jump always screwed me over. I can't say always, but it just seemed like people were always running into you. Is this wood paneling? I feel like this is wood paneling. Oh god, there goes my left exhaust. My car should have gotten so much louder right there. In the cab, at least. Maybe not back here, naturally, because, you know, straight pipes are straight pipes, but still. Crunch Bunch. Crunch Bunch. I have to. Aww. Oh, God. I almost feel like I should be running rally suspension for this track. Perfect. Excuse me, Crunch Bunch. There's the pits. Which was actually kind of a neat mechanic. It was something we hadn't really seen of games back in the day, except for NASCAR games, but Destruction Derby actually had working, well, not necessarily working pits per se, but going into the pits did repair your vehicle. A little bit. It didn't repair it all the way, but it did repair a little bit. Which was almost a necessary feature for those longer tracks. Or longer races, I should say. I don't remember if there was a way to adjust the race length, per se. I think it was just kind of whatever you ended up on career mode. Again, years. I was a kid when I played that game. But hey, at least I played it and can remember it. Also, this mod does add a smoother chase camera. Okay, I need to be in the center here. Go on, stay up there. I will say, this version of Chalk Canyon is a little bit more forgiving on this, because back on the old school game, these edges were a lot steeper. A lot steeper. Like, you basically had to go all the way through on the sand there, just to get back on track. It's definitely not a drifting track. It's also not really a racing track, I'd say. But it's definitely more racing than drifting, I feel like. At least in the power car, in the power tier I'm on. This one, if I remember right, I usually just focused on wrecking and doing this to people. Take that. Yeah, this happened a lot back in the day. Oh, yeah. Except, I was one of those people that usually purposely took that little outcropping there to spin the car in midair, because, I mean, I was a kid, what do you expect? That's just something you pretty much programmed to do as a kid. More destruction, more mayhem, more stunts. Oh god! Suddenly there was an AI. My car has seen better days. Oh gosh. Get through here, then go through the tiny hole here. I don't even remember if this game, if Destruction Derby 2 had an e-brake per se. I have no idea. Oh, that's a wall. I do not like walls. Nah, that's a bright light. Get on the gas. And stay in the center as much as possible. There we go. Oh god. Yep, fell short. Definitely fell short there. Let's get some higher gear here so we can really work our way up the hill. Perfect. In theory, higher gears do have more torque but less power, but I won't get into that whole thing. The whole theory of torque multiplication. Because you're not really multiplying torque, you're transferring horsepower into torque, and I don't know. It's a whole thing I don't really want to get into. That's how gearing works. Alright, I have to once. It never worked quite like that before. And let's get reset here. Oh! Ow. Okay, fair enough. The beast died too. Fair enough, I suppose I deserve that one on that track. It did not work out nearly as well as I was hoping it would. I did receive $100, I guess just for showing up. Let's go ahead and check out the next one. City Heat. Well, let's get into it, shall we? Now, that orange car on the left there is Learner Driver. The one in the center, if I remember right, the Professional was in a yellow and black car. Red was... God, I don't even remember who they all were. That was a weird opening cutscene there. I should just start in third gear, see how well that works out for me. That was a sharp paint job back there. Oh yeah, I remember City Heat now. Very tight course. Might be perfect for drifting action now that I think about it. Or maybe even more for like a rallycross style. That's definitely what this feels like, is a rallycross style track, but it needs ramps and such, obviously. Oh god, there's a tight corner. And I went and did that. I'm gonna get hit. I don't want to get hit. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Nice drift. Heavy metal hero. Oh crap. Oh crap. Oh crap. No. 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 Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. There we go. Perfect. Actually, it turned out slightly better than I was expecting. Look at that. And here's that really tight corner again. There we go. That was nice. That was a nice drift right there. More of a power slide, I suppose, technically, but I won't get into it too much. That's a wall. Fanta. Now I know Fanta was not sponsoring this game back in the day. Destruction Derby, I mean, not Wreckfest. That's some sort of free bank loans. There we go. This definitely feels like a very tight drift track almost. I feel like it'd be a lot of fun with a really high horsepower all-wheel drive car too. So we'll get on to the next track there. That one was City Heat. What do we have next? We have Crossroad. We can get into that one here. So I don't even know how long I've been recording here, but it has been quite some time. I'm just checking the time here. See where we're sitting. Come on, load up. You can do it, computer. There we go. It's basically a giant figure 8. Okay, fair enough. Guess what? I will be drifting it. That's a sharp paint job too. What car is that? Come on. There we go. And time to drift. Maybe not. This is kind of a weird track to try and drift, I suppose, but I'm going to keep trying to make it work nonetheless. Oof. That almost worked. Not quite as well as I was hoping, but it almost worked nonetheless. Don't hit me. Oh, he hit me. That asshole. Oh gosh, we're not getting quite enough angle, I don't think. Hello! Oh, that was a nice hit right there. I guess that must be some new particles to kind of show where the center of impact was and kind of who won the impact. Maybe that's part of the mod. Who knows? That's probably part of the mod. Because back in the day and back in Destruction Derby, that was a particle effect. When you hit someone, you did get a kind of a flame particle effect showing that you did hit them. And there's a finish line. In fourth again. I really like finishing fourth. The Pro. Move on to the next track here. 235 experience. Before we do move on to the next track, let's do another auto repair. Keep everything up to par. What is the next track here? We are on to Death Bowl. I feel like I missed one. No, not there. So we'll skip Death Bowl. Liberty City. I'm only doing the racetracks here. I'll do a separate video for the demolition derbies. It'll probably be a much shorter one, and I might even do lawnmowers for them. No, I'm not going to do lawnmowers for them, but what I'll probably end up doing is trying to get some people together for a multiplayer on that. If it all works out, I mean, I know I can get a few people, but I'd like to get 20 people on. Oh yeah, I remember this. Hey look, Pizza Hut. And nick the cage. Here we go. Nice, wide and open track. Okay, we're on dirt. I don't like dirt. Oh, I remember this now. This is supposed to be a construction zone. Alright, let's get back in the race here. Excuse me, you two people that look the same. There we go. I want to gain some spots here, so I'm going to try and race as straight up as I can. Ah! I was trying purposely not to hit him. There we go. Get up and running here. That's going to be second lap. And shift. So we're coming back into the dirt section here, or gravel section I should call it. And failed jump drift. Oh, just slammed into the wall. And fourth gear. Do a nice early shift into fourth gear because I knew I was going to hit that jump. Perfect. Actually worked out better than I was expecting. And third lap, last lap here. And let's go, boogity, boogity, boogity. I actually kept up speed there. There we go. Using the extra RPMs from being in the air to get a little farther into fourth gear and keep some speed up. Oh, can I beat this guy? I want fourth again. I'm gonna get fourth. Yes, fourth place. Oh, apparently I can only beat fourth. Oh man, look at the master. Wrecking face. So we'll go on to, I think there's 2 more tracks, maybe 3. Ooh, I got a lot of experience for that one. I can keep everything repaired. It's actually a good way to earn some money is just to go through these tracks too. Ocean Drive. This one's a good little drift track, I think. From what I can remember, this is a very small, not necessarily small, but a nice tight track with tight turns and I think 2 longer turns that are almost the perfect size, I would think, for drifting. We'll see as soon as it loads up here. If I remember right. Kind of neat looking. Yep, that's exactly what I thought it was. Perfect. Almost feels like it's on volcano, on a volcanic rock road. So let's see what we can do here around these guys. Oh, excuse me everybody, you are all in the way. I'm gonna go ahead and lag through everybody, I suppose. Why did I start in last on this one? It's just a recipe for disaster starting last in this game. Because everybody in front of you is gonna wreck and get in your way. There we go. Oh yeah, like that. Just what I saw up there. What was I just saying? Everybody's gonna wreck. Excuse me, Undertaker. Oh yeah, look at that. This track's fun. Oh god. I overcompensated for that turn. Used weight transfer a little too much. But nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and ride that wall a little harder than I meant to, I suppose. Excuse me, sir, but you are very much so in the way. Let's go on and shift into fourth. Probably should have stayed in fourth there. I think downshift into third actually kind of screwed me over, but this one I kind of have to downshift. Come on. Too much weight transfer. Perfect. Oh, look how close I got to the wall there. Guess I'm finishing 4th again. Yep, finishing 4th with no one in sight. Oh well, I guess. Wow, 4th, 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 4th. I didn't even get the fastest lap. By no means did I get the fastest lap. Alright, next race. I think we're on to the last one, which I believe is Motoplex. No, we have Pine Hills Raceway yet? Really? Okay, really? I haven't done Pine Hills yet? No way. I guess not. So I guess we actually have a few yet. So we'll do Pine Hills Raceway next. I could have sworn I did Pine Hills. Now I'm confused. Did I not do Pine Hills already? I don't remember. I could have sworn... Yeah, I did Pine Hills already. This thing's high. Okay, so... let's see what's actually next now. Yeah, I did Pine Hills. What the hell is it smoking? Okay, so let's move on to SCA Motoplex and then SCA Ultimate Speedway. And those are the last two. Well, besides just regular Speedway, but... let's get into SCA Motoplex, shall we? Did I do Pine Hills? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did Pine Hills. I'm like 98% certain I did that already. Let's move the microphone maybe just a tad bit closer here. Keep the pop filter a little closer to my face and a little farther away from the microphone. Hopefully that'll help. Come on, load up. Is that a football? No, it's a satellite dish. Makes a little more sense for this game than a football does, that much is for sure. Excuse me, everybody, you are all very much so in the way. Excuse me, I said. Good lord, does nobody listen? Oh yeah, this is actually pretty close to the way it felt back in the day. Perfect. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. This is very much so a high-speed track, but it does have some really good corners for drifting. I.e. that one right there. Come on! I'm just gonna push you out of the way. Told him I was gonna do it, but did he listen? No. Come on. I'm starting to get a little bit of frame drop here, which is kind of surprising. Yeah. Whoa, that was weird. Had a weird clipping issue back there. Perfect. And we'll use the banking here to our advantage. Barney Army. Oh man, that turn had so much potential. But I went and screwed it all up. I'm actually not going to finish 4th this race, I don't think. Well, let's see what we can do at least. See what we can do about that, because we need to finish 4th. I don't want to have to do this track over again. I need to finish 4th this time. That's just our thing. We have to finish 4th. That's a wall. Definitely hit the e-brake a little too late there. Barney Army, don't make me do it. I'll push you through this through this area too. And was weird. I shifted into 5th just to decelerate 20 miles an hour. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks, game. Thanks. Must have something to do with traction control being on. Oh, man. I gotta stop trying to do a reverse entry into that corner. It's never gonna work. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna finish 4th in this one. That much is obvious. Unless they really screw up there. Which I mean, it's always possible. Unlikely, but it is possible. And boogity boogity boogity. Aw, man. Had too much throttle there. Too much wheel spin and just didn't let me go through the corner like I really wanted to. Passion wagon's way behind me. Yeah, I'm not getting 4th. Oh well, it was worth a shot, right? Whew. That was kind of sexy right there. Come through these corners in 5th and finish up the race right up here. Alrighty. So that was SCA Multiplex. It is different from what I remember. Again, this one might be based all on the first game, which I never played the first one. I know, scandalous. But I never owned the first one either. That was just Multiplex. This is Ultimate Speedway and then just regular Speedway. So let's get into the Ultimate Speedway here and see what that is all about. Lots of explosions and smoke and cloud and spark and a random portion of a wall sitting right below a very grainy chrome bumper. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Oh god. Oh god, no, I remember this track now. Why? Why? Yep. Well, without any further ado, let's get into the race then. Bye, Taxman. Excuse me, Doctor. It's Doc McStuffins. I have a kid, leave me alone. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is bringing back memories now. Oh, I forgot how tight that corner is. Don't get up there. Don't get stuck up there. It's one thing you couldn't do in the old Destruction Derbies is get stuck up there, and I'd rather not have it happen here in Wreckfest. Come on. Ah. Oh god. I need to take the other route. And this is theoretically shorter, if I remember right, but the tightness made it so impossible to really do properly. Let's go for it. Ski slope! Oh god. Let's just reset from there. Come on. Climb, climb, climb. And climb, climb, climb. Yeah, I'm never gonna make the jump. No, this is the way that doesn't take the jump. That's right. Oh my god, he got some air. I'll have to do the jump on the next lap here. I feel like it's mandatory to take the jump. Interesting. Apparently I have... Nope. No, there's the second lap. Okay. Taking the other route this time. Screw the left route. Come on. Remember it? Yeah, this is a more scenic route anyway. Yeah, I remember this track. I am missing a wheel. Shoot. I'm not going to make it through this track. Dang it. Oh well, I don't really have time to go for it again, so... We'll move on to the last track here. We are definitely going to do a repair after that. Ha! Everything's fully repaired. I love it. Speedway. And then, like I said, we'll do... It's actually very realistic to the original. We'll do all of the demolition derbies in a separate video because this one is going to be very long. Very, very long. I mean, I've been recording for at least a half hour now, and I'm not so sure that's healthy. Where's my pop? I must have finished it, I guess. Okay. Whoa, I'm dizzy again. I don't remember this one. Come on. Just get some grip, Pizza Hut, and Coca-Cola. Ooh. This one feels like a good drift track. That was just what is going on here? Am I just magnetically... Why am I, like, turning sideways constantly all of a sudden? Alright. I gotta figure out what's going on here. Okay, that was weird. It seems to have been fixed now for the most part. I mean, we'll really test it out here on the straightaway. No, most definitely is not fixed. It's very weirdly pulling to the left. And it's not a problem with the car, it's a problem with the game or my controller or something. Woo! I am full right now. So I guess that's gonna end it like this. I could have definitely had this one, but this decided to go and happen. I guess we'll finish in 6th on this one. I'll definitely have to come back here one, or I guess 7th. I'm gonna finish 7th? 8th? No, still 6th. Yay, 7th! Yeah, it was definitely controller. But look into that, figure out what's going on there. No, it's nothing there. Huh, that was weird. Well, anyway, folks, that's going to end it for this one. If you did enjoy and you would like to see more, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. We will see you next time. Until then, as always, auto repair, take it easy. Also, I hope to see you out on Saturday. Peace.